Remember back when all the Jonas Brothers were sporting those purity rings? Yeah, this album doesn't either. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the sophomore effort, the solo sophomore effort from Nick Jonas, formerly of the Jonas Brothers. I'm sure he's trying to distance himself from that at this point, considering the blatant sexual themes all throughout this record and on his debut. Thought his debut was kind of forgettable, to be quite honest. I couldn't tell you that many songs that I heard on it. There were a few singles that kind of stood out, like Jealous put itself out there. I didn't think it was the best pop song, but I didn't really have negative feelings towards it like some people did. Thought Chains was one that was really good, probably the best song on the record, and I was hoping for something to build on that, something a little bit more career solidifying. And do we get that with his new record? Last year was complicated. Not really, to be quite honest. I have several issues with this record that really keep me from fully enjoying it. First of all, I've never really felt like Nick Jonas was that charismatic of a singer. I mean, he gets the job done, especially whenever they were in the Jonas Brothers. You were mixing it up, hearing several different voices, sure. But here, I just feel like he kind of plays it safe. Some tracks, he's kind of just cooing on it, like Don't Make Me Choose. The vocal register really gets high into that falsetto range, and it's just kind of grating. Most of these songs don't do anything to kind of stand out from the pack, and I wouldn't say that even the singles just immediately grab your attention and say, this is the pop song of the year or the summer. This is what you have to keep coming back to. I don't feel that attached to any songs on the album, and none of them are super particularly bad. It's just that they do the biggest crime of being forgettable. There's a couple that I do feel like stand tall, and I'll mention in just a minute, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the negative ones right off the bat. Close was released as the lead single from this thing and features Tovlo, a Swedish singer that I'm really into. I enjoyed her album Queen of the Clouds. Cool collaboration, right? I was interested to check it out. Never got around to hearing it until the album dropped, other than like a 30-second preview. And whenever this started off, I was like, weird. This is like a marimba or something here. Kind of got a tropical flavor. And from what I understand, the song seems to be about Jonas not being able to open up, and he's kind of forcing himself to be closer to someone. And it can be taken in a very physical way, but I think it's also a mental thing. And I suppose some of the other tracks on the record could be taken that way, even though they really seem to want you to think that they're all about the physical. There's a mental aspect there as well. And on Close, I just don't feel like it does that much to stand out from other stuff being played on the radio these days. It seems like it's following trends, going for that tropical vibe that Justin Bieber and others have popularized in the mainstream, and it doesn't really add that much of its own flair and personality to make it stand out. This is one of those pop songs that's going to fall off the charts, and nobody's really going to think too much about it. I think some of these tracks are actually not that bad. I mean, there's nothing bad incriminating about them that would keep me from listening to them. It's just if somebody threw them on, I would be okay with it, but I couldn't see myself digging deeper to like find that Nick Jonas record. I'm looking at tracks like Champagne Problems, which isn't even as good as Meghan Trainor's Champagne Problems. That's probably saying something right there. But it's one of those tracks that's surface level pop. You enjoy it, but it's in one ear, out the other, and that's kind of how I'm feeling all throughout. Touch runs a similar theme. Some of these tracks just feel a little bit overly produced, and I get that it's pop music and electro pop meets R&B or whatever flavor they're going for, but some of the tracks just really get drowned out in that production, like trying to jump on a trend or trying to follow what's popular, and they lose themselves and the song's identity in the process. I feel like he was trying his best to get out a couple of good messages on tracks like Good Girls, saying like what happened to all of these girls, they've lost themselves in their technology and their phones. They're, all about like looking good in pictures, etc. When did all these good girls go bad? And not saying bad is in the sense that they're rebelling necessarily, in the sense that, they're not really living life that much anymore. At least that's what I'm kind of taking away from it. I agree with the message there, but once again, I'm having a lot of trouble just kind of staying with the song as it goes. It's like you've got me with its message. You kind of got me hooked at first, but it slowly loosens its grip. And that's how I feel about some of these tracks. Even the ones that I like the most, like Voodoo. I kind of like that foreign-leaning beat. That's probably the most interesting song on this entire record. That one and Chainsaw, which I think should have been released as this album's lead single. Probably the most memorable moment that we get here alongside Voodoo. My two favorite tracks, but even those, are they really that great? Are they really up to the standard of what I feel like Nick Jonas could accomplish if he really pushed himself? And the answer is no. Don't get it twisted though, I do like those two tracks. I think they're very enjoyable pop songs. Even Bacon with Ty Dolla $ign. I've never heard a pop song called Bacon. I was really hoping it was going to be an ode to Kevin Bacon, or else feature a rap verse from him. That was kind of a letdown, but Ty Dolla $ign, I suppose, isn't awful on this track, just like Big Sean is okay on his verse on the following track, Good Girls. But Bacon has one of the most popping and sizzling choruses here. I'm just actually getting into it. I connect with it. It's just a very vibrant synth line and that electro pop feel. It's like a magnet for the eardrums, but the verses kind of shift and it doesn't really give them enough focus and attention. I feel like it's mainly chorus driven, and for that reason I can't fully engage with it. I'm finding myself wanting to skip over some of these tracks though. Touch, Don't Make Me Choose, which I already highlighted earlier. I don't really like that vocal register that's going on there, and one that I can't help but roll my eyes at, Under You, Nick Jonas basically detailing not being able to sleep with this girl and about how he's always gonna regret it. The album just doesn't feel that genuine to me. It's like he's kind of skipping all over the place with his messages, doesn't exactly know what he wants, and even though the music itself might be focused, the lyrical content, he seems to be contradicting himself here and there. And you look to projects like Joe Jonas's new band, Dance, DNCE, and they're having fun. They're doing what they want to do. It's still pop music, but it seems like there's a little bit more of a heart to it, a little bit more passion, fun, etc. Even their new single Toothbrush is pretty fun, and I really love Cake by the Ocean. But with Nick Jonas, it just seems like he's kind of dialing it in here, riding the waves of whatever his producers want him to do, writing some of these tracks that just feel written to be pop songs and nothing more. That's just how I feel about it though. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. For me personally, I'm gonna have to go with a 2.5 for Last Year Was Complicated by Nick Jonas. This one just wasn't my cup of tea, guys. Maybe you'll enjoy it. There's a link to stream it in the description down below. I just felt like it kind of was sloppy, if that makes sense. I didn't enjoy anything really from the ballad to some of the production. There were aspects that I did like, and there were songs that I liked, obviously. I liked Chainsaw, Voodoo, Bacon. There were good moments there, but I don't know how memorable it's gonna be down the road. I feel like a lot of people are just gonna instantly almost forget about this album, kind of like I did about Jonas's last record. Anyways, that's just me. Hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go and subscribe. You can check out my review of his first album or the last review that I did right here on this channel by clicking those little annotations there. Other than that, I'll see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.